All right, welcome back to another episode of the Berean Youth Podcast.
Woo-hoo.
We're glad that you joined us today. We got a lot of stuff on the plate, and it is going to be yummy. So that was weird.
Oh my goodness!
I always say something weird.
Every week we find a new way to not kick off the podcast.
I was thinking on the plate, yummy. So
yeah.
So I am Dusty. I am your host, along with my co-host Eddie, right here next to me. What's up, Eddie?
What's going on, everybody?
And today we have a special guest with us. That is our youth ministry intern, Erica. Say hi, Erica.
Hello, guys.
Oh, that was so lovely.
Hello.
So high-pitched.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about you, Erica. What has been up with Erica lately?
Well, I just got back from vacation. So
where'd you go?
Well, I went to Florida like 2 weeks ago now. So.
Dude, Florida would be nice right about now.
Florida
you're
would be
going
amazing.
in like 3 days.
I am. I'm going to Florida in 3 days. Cannot wait. I'm taking my daughter down to see a college. But why we're saying Florida would be real nice right now is if you are not in Minnesota right now, let me just tell you, I woke up this morning, looked at my phone, and it said it was minus 17 degrees. Eddie,
Ew.
I think yours said minus.
Mine, yep. I woke up probably a little later than you did, but it was minus 20.
Yeah, and that's the regular temperature, not like the feels like temperature.
Yep.
And so, by the way, I knew it got cold here in Minnesota, but this is a little stupid. I mean,
that's a good way to describe it.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so
stupid is a good word for it.
So both of you grew up in Minnesota. Neither one of you like it?
No, and I honestly don't know why I still live here.
Well,
because I could have moved away.
Here's the thing. I hate the winter, but everything else is really, really good.
Yeah, Minnesota's not a bad state. It's just when you can go outside and your eyeballs freeze exactly the way they are and everybody thinks you had Botox, something's wrong.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Pretty much.
So with that being the cold, I have to ask a question to you guys.
Okay.
If you could change one thing about Minnesota, what would it be? And it can't be the cold. Because, I mean, we would all change the cold. Because, like I said, it's stupid. But what would you change about Minnesota? Eddie, what would you change?
Well, you guys know me. I'm a big sports guy.
Yes.
So what I would change about Minnesota is I would have it so that the Minneapolis Lakers never left.
Oh, okay. So you would want the Lakers to stay here.
Yes.
Okay.
Because they drafted Kobe Bryant.
And that's why they're called the Lakers, is
right, because they were from Minnesota. So a little bit of basketball history for you guys.
That's pretty cool. Okay, that's not too bad. So it's not actually changing something about Minnesota. It's just changing.
Well, it is changing something about Minnesota. We wouldn't have the Timberwolves, the worst franchise in the league.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, what about you, Erica? What would you change?
Okay, well, you said I couldn't change the cold, but I could make like boat season longer.
Boat season? You like going out on boats?
I do.
What?
It's a lot of fun.
Do you guys have a boat?
Yes, we do. A very old boat, but we have a boat.
Really? Has it ever like almost sank?
No, but it's died in the middle of the lake before.
Are you serious? Did you have to paddle back or something?
Yeah, we had somebody. We were using the paddle, which we only had one of.
Yeah.
And then somebody came and towed us, but we had like friends with us, so there was like 10 people in the boat, and we're trying to get it back to the launch, which was a long ways away.
But here's the thing: you will never forget that.
Never.
Right?
Never.
I love boats. I would
boats
say
are fun.
If I were to change one thing about Minnesota, it would probably be I would want a real beach here. Like, I know there's the beach on Lake Superior.
It's not a beach.
It's like rocky and not really a real beach. And if you live up north and you're like mad at me, I don't care. It's not a real beach. I would want like a real beach where like I can go bodyboarding, or if I was in more shape, go surfing. You did not have to laugh at that, Erica.
Sorry.
But I think that's what I would change. But that's okay. I'm going to be in Hawaii in 3 days. Yeah.
Hawaii.
Oh, wait, not Hawaii.
Florida.
Okay, Florida.
There's a difference there.
Okay, yes, there is a difference there. So,
I would like to be in either of those places this weekend.
Yes, I will be in Florida.
Although Minnesota's supposed to get a heat wave this weekend. It's supposed to be up in the 30s. So that's like a 60-degree difference.
That is
between now and then.
It's going to feel like a sauna.
It's going to
It
be
is so nice.
I'll finally be able to start my car in the morning without being scared if it'll actually start or not.
Well, that has to do with your car, not the cold.
I think it's the cold because that kind of happened to me too.
Well, your car's worse than his.
Okay.
So.
That's true. That's true. I am not the worst car at this table. Or I don't have the worst car at this table.
Okay. Well, I got to tell you, when we are cheering that it might actually get to freezing, something is wrong with us. Can I just tell you that?
That is exactly right.
I used to hate wearing a mask for COVID. Now I wear it just to stay warm.
Yep.
It's pretty stupid. So if you're living in a warm place, let us know about it in the comments. Or if you would want to change one thing about Minnesota, put it down in the comments of the video here. We would love to see that. By the way, last week we talked about our favorite movies, and then we talked about some different movies and the all-time, money-making movies. And I have an apology that I have to make. So last week we talked about Titanic. And I said, spoiler alert, and I said, at the end, this is what happens. I don't think it's a real big spoiler well, I did it last week. So the dude dies in the end, right? Yeah. And I had a student, I won't say who, but her name rhymes with Kara. Her name is Kara. And, and she said I spoiled it for her because she has not seen it yet. But the movie is from 1995, so if you haven't seen it yet and I spoiled it, watch some newer movies. Sorry, Kara. All right.
It's been out for a while. But to be fair to Kara, that is kind of the whole biggest thing that happens in the movie.
It is the biggest thing. Well, I mean, other than the boat sinking, duh.
Well,
that's kind of the biggest thing.
So why did Jack die?
I didn't say his name. Now you really gave it away.
Because the boat sank.
Way to go, Eddie.
That's right. Well, okay. Well, sorry if I gave it away that the boat sank. But I will also let you know that in Avengers Endgame, I won't.
That would have been dangerous.
I won't give that one away.
It's been a while, so there's kind of a rule there with movies being out for a while, and the spoiler alert kind of line when you eventually cross it, and you say, if you haven't watched it yet, sorry, you need to watch it.
Yeah. What do they say when you can't be tried for something for so long because
statute of limitations.
Yeah, the statute of limitations is over on spoiling it. Sorry, Kara.
Also, Titanic is based on a true story, so if you're shocked by something that happens in Titanic,
but I don't know
you need to read up on your history.
But was that a true story with Jack and the lady?
No, that's not what I was saying.
Rose, wasn't it?
They all still drowned, so in real life. So
it could have been.
Thanks for that happy thought there, Erica.
I'm
they
sorry.
All still drown.
My goodness.
Everybody dies.
Some lived.
Okay.
Okay, well, we're getting into dark waters. We're getting into dark waters now.
Okay.
We're heading towards an iceberg. Let's get back on track.
Dark waters. All right. By the way, sorry about that. To make up for it, Eddie will be sending you a box of chocolates. All right. So here's the deal. Last week we started this new thing called Fill in the Five, and I think this week we're going to play again because Erica, as our intern, is also our social media coordinator. She's our, I would say, social media guru, and so she has a fill in for five for us today, Eddie. So I think it's time for us to play. Oh, wrong button.
Again.
Here we go. Fill in the five. Okay, I didn't need help, Eddie, but that's okay. All right. All right. Erica, what's our fill in the five this week?
So your first question, these are more like social media trivia questions.
Okay.
So the first one is, what is the #1 social media platform today?
Okay, I have a guess.
Okay, let's discuss.
You want to discuss it? I think it's Instagram.
I think it's TikTok.
I think it's neither.
I think it might be Facebook because of the old people.
What if it's Snapchat? I think it could be Snapchat.
Yeah, it could be SnapTalk.
Snapgram
or TikChat or something.
Yeah, something like that.
I will say I was going to say Instagram, but
I think we should go Snapchat.
I'm going to say Facebook.
I'm going Snapchat.
What is it?
It's YouTube.
Oh.
That's a social media platform?
Okay, this is actually funny because the other night we were trying to figure. My dad was like, because I'm on social media all the time, obviously. He's like, this social media thing is just out of hand. And my sister goes, well, Dad, you watch YouTube all the time. He's like, but social media is not YouTube. Like,
is it YouTube?
YouTube
social?
So he asks his phone. He asks Google, is YouTube a social media platform? And Google said yes.
Yeah, but Google isn't always right. I asked the other day, Google, am I cool? And it said no.
Okay.
So
You got to keep things in context, though, Dusty.
no, seriously, is YouTube a social?
I would say
platform?
now that I think about it, it probably is.
It is considered social media.
The content creators
Okay.
interact with their subscribers. And
Okay.
People can post in comments. and-
Okay, so YouTube was number 1. We got it wrong. What's next?
Okay. Who has the most followers on TikTok?
On TikTok. Oh, if you would have said
Is it that-
YouTube, I might have got it. But TikTok.
Is it that Charlie person?
Charlie Brown?
No.
Oh, my.
Charlie D'Angelo? I don't remember what her
Okay,
name
I'm
is.
going to give a guess. And I'm going to say, what's that girl that's like really goofy?
Is that her name was Charlie?
No, she's like, she like wears a lot of scrunchies and is,
Jojo Siwa.
yeah, Jojo Seawall.
Eddie was correct. It's
yeah.
Charlie D'Amelio.
Okay, I was close.
All right.
How many
All right.
followers do you think she has?
I have never
Oh,
even
I'm
been on.
gonna-
I don't even know.
I'm going to say
Does TikTok have followers? Is that what it is?
I'm going to say she's got 200 million.
She has 108 million.
108 million followers on TikTok. Now TikTok is, yeah, never mind.
Yeah,
I was gonna
we're
say
just
something
not going to
I
get
don't.
into that.
Okay. All right. Next one.
Okay, what name was Snapchat originally launched under?
Oh,
Huh.
Snapchat.
I don't even know.
Because it has not always been called Snapchat.
Snotchat. No, that's weird. That's weird. That's a
I
sticky situation. there.
remember when I first signed up for Snapchat, but I didn't know there was a name
Snapchat.
before it.
How about
I honestly have no idea.
Snapface? That would be a good one because it's kind of like Facebook.
Is that your final
or
answer?
Snapbook or Snapchat. How about Cat Chat, where you put pictures of cats on there?
What about
Quick Chat. That's my Quick
Quick
Chat.
Chat?
because
Okay,
they're
Quick
quick.
Chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it was actually called Pickaboo.
Pickaboo.
Oh, that was Eddie's name in high school. No, I don't know what that
Oh.
means.
Yeah,
That
I
was
don't know
weird.
what that
I
means
have
either.
no idea. That's my go-to dad joke. Oh, that was my name in high school.
high school.
All right.
Goodness.
Okay, give it. I am such an old guy in this one right now. Okay.
You are.
Go ahead.
In most
you really
things.
are. Okay, what is the most liked photo on Instagram of?
An egg.
I think it is an egg. I remember this.
It is an egg. It was posted in an effort to break a world record. It has 54.
And it was okay. Here's the deal. It was posted to break the world record by one of the Kardashians, right?
Kylie Jenner, yep.
See, is that a Kardashian?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I knew this thing.
The
I know
post-
what's. See, I'm cool.
from
what up?
The post is
Okay,
from
my daughter's gonna kill me for doing that. All right, I just put my hood up if you're listening to this.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, all right, give us the next one.
Okay, name a social media network that was around before Facebook.
Oh, I got this one right now.
MySpace?
MySpace.
Okay, you're both right.
Oh, dude, I remember the years of MySpace, and you could like edit your page and the whole deal. Dude, it was the
Well,
bomb.
Dusty's been around since social media was sending pigeons.
Okay.
That's so funny. No, I remember MySpace, man. It was the bomb. It was awesome. I was on it.
Better than sending the smoke signals, right?
Oh my gosh, Eddie.
Okay, and I have a bonus question.
Okay.
2 popular social media games in the late 2000s and early 2010s.
Social media games?
Yep.
Okay.
What does that even mean?
So like games that you played like with your friends, so you could have like friends on.
So there's
game.
this farm one.
Okay,
I can't
you're
remember
on
what
to
it's
something.
called.
Farmland.
Farmville.
Farmville.
Yes. I remember that one.
And
And what about Trivia Crack? Is that one, or is that just a game?
I think that's just a game. I've
Oh.
never heard of that.
I know
Or
I've seen other
what
games,
about,
but I can't remember other than that Farmville
What's
one.
the one where there's an imposter?
Among Us. So we're talking
Among
about
Us.
stuff that's before this.
Oh, okay. Because Among Us is like where it's at.
The big thing now.
I'm so
I have
old.
no idea.
I don't know. What's the other one?
Club Penguin.
Oh, how did I forget that? I used to go on Club
forget
Penguin all the
I
time.
was never allowed to play Club Penguin, so
All I know is my daughters were all about it.
Club Penguin was very fun.
And I always thought, oh, it's just a cartoon or something. I have no idea what Club Penguin is.
Webkins was better.
Webkins
my
was a
opinion.
lot of. I have to admit,
Now
Webkins
you
was
got-
pretty cool.
Yeah, for me, it was Saturday morning cartoons.
Me
So
too. I
where
watched Saturday morning cartoons
We
also.
actually had to go to the TV and switch the channel. Yeah, you guys are young. All right. Well, thanks for the 5 F5. By the way, as we talk about social media and we talk about like new things, I got to tell you a story of something that happened lately. and tell me if you think this is real or not. This is going to be such a long podcast. But so the other day I was at my small group with my small group peeps. What up? I tried to sound cool. And I have my backpack with me, right? And I bought my backpack probably a year and a half, 2 years ago. And it's from a company called eBags, and not a sponsor. Unless you want to be a sponsor, you can sponsor us. But I bought a bag from eBags, and one of the guys in my small group came up and said, "Hey, that's a cool bag. Where did you get it?" And I said, "Oh, I got it at a place called eBags." He's like, "Oh, I'll have to check that out." I kid you not, I haven't been there to their website, nothing, haven't heard from them. Bought it 2 years ago. Yesterday, I'm going through my Instagram. There is an ad from eBags.
Of course there is.
Yep, they're listening. They are.
Do they really do that?
Yeah,
I think they do. I think they do.
Like Facebook, I figured out how you can turn the setting off, but if it was Instagram, I don't know how to do that.
Like there's a setting that it listens to you?
Yeah, I shut it off on my phone because it's kind of sketch.
That is definitely sus.
Yeah,
right there.
Yep.
See what I did there? Sus.
Yeah, I see
But,
what you did there.
I mean, seriously, so what if I just started talking about something crazy one time and then I start getting ads for it and my wife's like, "What are you getting ads for that for?" Like, I don't know what it'd be like, but like if I was like, joking around and said something, I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird that they're listening.
Right. So
it's kind of creepy.
So what's the weirdest ad you've gotten lately, Eddie?
The weirdest ad well, there has been a time where I like had a dream about something, and then the next morning I wake up and I'm looking at my social media or whatever, and I see an ad for it.
No way.
That's happened to me too.
You guys have chips in your head. Like, some way you got something happened and somebody put a chip in your head. Mm. Like, you can't have a dream and then get an ad for it.
It's weird.
It's happened.
Oh my goodness.
It's weird.
We must sleep talk or something.
It's creepy. I mean, yeah, I could. For all I know, I wouldn't know if I'm sleep talking or not. But
Eddie's sleeping. All of a sudden he's like, "I want to be taller," and then next morning he gets like platform shoes.
Well, now we know why you see ads for Bosley on your social media.
For the hair transplant. Thanks a lot. All right, I think we move on because otherwise I'm going to be getting hair transplant ads forever because we just talked about it. So let's move on. As you know, every week we like to get into a question that has to do with faith or about being a Christian or just about church. And today we have another question that has come in. And so this week it is time for our good question.
Good question.
I told myself I would not dance during that because I knew you'd make fun of me.
I will say it's kind of awkward hearing yourself say something. Like, it's one thing to listen.
But that was you saying good question. Right?
I know it was me saying good question. We're not going to talk
Do
about
it again.
this again.
Just say it right now.
Good question.
See it's like we just heard it again.
That is so weird.
It is very weird.
Can I have your autograph? All right. So so today's question is a question that I think everybody has at some point in their life, but it was a great question. I think it's something that we need to talk about. Mm-hmm. It might not be something that is real, like an odd question like we've looked at before, but it is a very common question. The question is this: What do you need to believe in order to become a Christian? What do you need to believe in order to become a Christian? And that's a great question, whoever asked that. And today, I think Eddie is going to take a stab at this one. So go ahead, Eddie.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of take you guys through the book of Romans and a few different verses there that are going to show us what it means to be a Christian, what it means to say, this is where I stand. So let's start with Romans 3:23, and that is, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. So first, in order to be saved, you need to admit that you need to be saved. You need to recognize, I can't do this on my own. You need to recognize that there's a standard that God has created the world with, and that I haven't met that standard because I've sinned against God by doing the things, thinking the things, saying the things that he said are wrong. So that's where we need to start. Romans 3:23 is that I need to be saved. And then we go into Romans 6:23. And because of how we've fallen short of the standard God has created for us through our sin, we deserve righteous punishment from God for what we've done. So our sins deserve punishment from God because he's perfectly just. And if he ignored the sin that we've committed, that would make him not just. So we need to look at that and say, I've fallen short of this standard, and because of that, I deserve punishment. So if we just stopped there, you might think, man, this is hopeless. There's nothing that can be done. But we look at Romans 5:8. Jesus did not come down and live a sinless life for us, fully man and fully God, and die a sinless death because we did something to deserve it. He came because of his great love for us. And while we were still dead in our sins, Jesus came to make us alive by his great sacrifice on our behalf. Jesus is the perfect sacrifice that we could never be, and he overcame our sin by being that perfect sacrifice. Yep. And finally, Romans 10:9-10, because of the great love of Jesus for us and his punishment in our place, mine and yours, we can be saved from the condemnation that we deserve. We can have new life starting right here, right now, when you accept Jesus. And we do this by believing in our hearts that God accomplished salvation for us by sending Jesus to die our death on the cross and raising him from the dead, and by confessing that Jesus is the Lord of our lives. And what it means to say that Jesus is the Lord of your life means that we are now living our lives in light of his sacrifice and commands, not our own ways or means to life. So that means you're saying, I'm not God, you are, and I am now a slave to righteousness, not a slave to sin. We trust in Jesus to be our Lord and Savior and trust him with our lives, not ourselves. New life begins when we do this, and that is how you can become a Christian.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great. Yeah, I think you really covered it there. I think a lot of times we hear the word be saved, and it can be a little confusing, especially if you're new to the faith or you don't know a lot about the Bible. And as Eddie said, really what it means is when we sin, we're separated from God and we're destined to a life without him, but we can be saved from that life without him by accepting Jesus. And what I like about the question and what I want to point out is the question said, what do you need to believe to be a Christian? And I think a lot of times in our society, the word Christian is used very flippantly, kind of very vaguely. And so like there's a lot of religions that do not believe what we believe, such as the Church of Jesus Christ, the Latter-day Saints, the Mormons. They would call themselves Christians probably, some of them, but I would not say that they believe anything like we believe as far as the way that you find salvation, or even the Catholic Church will say that we are Christians, and I believe that the way they look at salvation being through works instead of just a relationship with Christ can be confusing. So what I like to say is, instead of what do I have to believe to be a Christian, what do I have to be a true follower of Christ? A Christian's a good word. I mean, it's not a bad word, but I think that sometimes we get caught up in that, and anybody can say, well, I'm a Christian. Right. But really, are you a follower of Christ? And I think going through what Eddie said is really what it means to be a follower of Christ. So what about you, Erica? You have anything to say towards that?
I think Eddie covered it pretty well. I feel actually this is interesting that we're talking about this today because I was at the dentist the other day, and the lady who cleans my teeth, she's cleaned my teeth for years or whatever, but they're Catholic. Okay. And so we were talking about church because she's like, so what are you doing for like school or whatever right now? I'm like, well, I'm actually on staff. I'm an intern for my church youth group, and she's like, where do you guys go to church again? She's like, we're Catholic, and we were talking about beliefs or whatever, and it's kind of interesting too.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to talk about that. And you know what, maybe if you guys want to hear about that, maybe that's a question we can answer later. Just ask it, but maybe we can talk about the differences between an evangelical church, a Protestant evangelical church, and a Catholic church. What do we believe that's different, or what's different between what we believe in Mormons or what we believe and really any other religion? If you want to hear about that, leave us a comment. Maybe that'll be one of the questions that we answer. So ask that question. We'd love to talk about that. But yeah, I think that in order to believe, what you need to believe to be a follower of Christ is just believe that Jesus died and rose again and that he is the king of your life. And that's it. It's a free gift. It's people think that it's some mysterious big thing that you have to do, and it's not. It's just it's big as in you surrender yourself, but it's not big as in a lot of different hoops that you have to go through because God's accessible, and I think that's what the Bible teaches. So awesome. Great stuff. I love it. So if you have any questions, please leave those in the comments or email them to Eddie at Eddier, EDDIER, at BereanBaptist.com. We would love to get you your question online, or you can leave a recording of your question. We can play your voice online, or Erica has another way that you can leave it as well.
So after this it's Friday when this goes up. So I'm going to post on our Instagram story another question box where you guys can leave your questions there.
Yes. So check out our Instagram, how do they find our Instagram?
So you can go on Instagram and search at Berean Youth MN.
At Berean Youth MN, and check that out, and you can send us a question. We love getting your questions. Or if you just have something you want us to talk about, like something funny that happened to you, or you want to know anything about Eddie or me or Erica or whoever, we just want to know. So leave us some comments and let us know what's going on in your life. So, all right. Well, we're coming to the end of this podcast, and we always like to end with a resource, so that you guys can have something that will help you in your faith. And this week, it was my task to come up with the resource. And so I have a good one that I use quite a bit, and I think that it will benefit you as well. This month has been Black History Month, and I think that it's important that we look at the fact that God has created diversity and that he also has a love for everyone, no matter who they are. And so I think that it's important for us to look at differences and also look at how we can come together as those that love Jesus and love others no matter what. And so so this week in kind of the aspect of Black History Month, one of my favorite pastors to listen to, in fact, I went to his church for a little while when I lived in Dallas, Oak Cliff Bible Church. But Tony Evans is a pastor, an African-American pastor down in Dallas, Texas. And I love listening to him teach and reading a lot of what he writes. And if you go to his website, tonyevans.org, he has a blog that you can click on. And all this month, he has been posting just different posts about Black History Month and how that has affected faith, and just ways, spotlighting different people that are important in Black culture. And so it's been really good for me to check that out. So we would love for you to check that out, and then check out some of his resources as far as kingdom-minded living. So great guy. Great pastor. Check that out, tonyevans.org. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, there's a link below that you can click on and get to his website. So, all right. Well, we're just about done. Any big plans for the weekend? I know, I mean, other than me being in Florida on the beach, what about you, Erica?
Homework, because I don't have any other time to do it.
Okay, homework. What about you, Eddie?
Probably homework.
All right. Well, you guys can study together while I'm on the beach. All right.
Cool.
So I have a question. Are you going to go to NASA?
Oh my!
Florida?
He asked this because Erica went to Florida and she said she did not want to go to NASA because it was dumb, and we said it would be awesome.
Was dumb. I said I wanted to go to Disney.
Okay, but why didn't you want to go to NASA?
Because
it was dumb.
Oh, that's right.
And then she went there, ended up liking it, and she's even wearing a NASA shirt. She's wearing a NASA shirt. Yes. So I might. I don't think I'll be going to NASA because we're going to be in South Florida. But if I did, then I could teach the astronauts how to be cool. So I don't know. What that means. But no, I've been to NASA before. In fact, quick story. No, I can't tell that. I get arrested. All right.
Goodness
all right.
gracious.
I think we're done. Anything else from you guys before we sign off?
I think we're good here.
All right. Make sure that you guys, if you're on YouTube, that you comment, subscribe, hit the bell, do all that other stuff that you're supposed to do. And if you're on Instagram, check us out. If you're on TikTok, we don't have anything for you.
Nope.
And if you like Club Penguin, give us a like. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I
But
think Club Penguin is no longer around. But
okay. Well,
you know.
if you like Club Penguin, then leave a comment. Maybe we'll start Club Eddie. All right, here we go. All right, thanks for joining us. We will see you next week. We hope you have a great weekend. Know that we're praying for you. See ya. NASA is so dumb.
Dusty is bald.
Oh my gosh.
Florida, here I come, baby.